What's good, guys? Nadeska here on Beats One. I got the homie ASAP Ferg with me. Welcome back.
What it do?
This project went through some changes, so I heard a few songs a few months ago. You stopped by the studio to play it for us.
Yeah.
We also had some title changes, right? So it was previously called Concrete Chandeliers. Then you briefly maybe considered Sewer Sounds. How did we end up on Floor Seats?
Well, Floor Seats was the name of one of the songs, that I dropped, the single Floor Seats in a video. I just thought that, like, it kind of embodied the whole project because I felt like I was giving people the floor seats in my life, like VIP. When you go to the basketball game, anybody who ever experienced floor seats, you witness what goes on in the backgrounds. Like, you don't get to, like, people that's, sitting in the Raptors, they don't get to see, the celebrities that's going to the back. You probably bumping into, like, LeBron. That's basically giving people the insight to my life the same way people that get floor seats do.
All right, so Ferg is giving us the VIP access. So jet lag, we were just talking about this before the mic started rolling.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about all the countries you've been into in the past, month?
I went to Ukraine when Rocky was locked in Sweden. He obviously couldn't make it, so they had called me to come do his show. Then from the Ukraine, I had to go to Hungary. When Rocky was returning home, I had to fly from Hungary to London to New York to LA. Basically 24 hours. We had a celebratory party for him. We stayed up for Sunday service. I was up for 2 days. I had the same outfit on for 2 days.
I'm glad you're giving us the VIP access, but people see the glamorous part, but having to fly all over the world and still perform and show up and do interviews is really exhausting.
It's extremely exhausting. You don't get to see your family. I just called my mom. I was like, Ma, I didn't see you in dumb long. Like, I start to feel like, damn, like, where's my family? Where's my mom? Like, that's why I try to, like, work with my family and keep my uncle around. I got 2 uncles. One of them is my security. One of them is my manager.
I know people always refer to you as, you're the party starter. I've seen this written about you a lot of times. The party starter. And of course, you always have some turn-up songs, but you do talk about serious things. You do talk about your family a lot. You're a family man. But on this project, more than ever, it feels just very celebratory.
It is very celebratory. It's been over, I think, 2 years. It just, time goes past so fast. I mean, I jumped on, like, different people's stuff and just dropped, like, singles and stuff, but I ain't put together a project in 2 years. I think it was also me letting loose and letting my shoulders back and just letting my nuts hang a little bit, for real. Just for real, because it's like sometimes us as artists, we get so, like, caught up in, what people is gonna like or perception or whatever the case may be, when we forget to just be artists and just project what we think is gonna make the world better or dope or make the party fun and have fun. And that's what I did. Like, I had songs that I should have put out 4 years ago that I saved all the way up to this point to drop it, because it was like, now it's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just releasing music that I want to release. I see, like, a lot of people in the comments, I be reading the comments, they be like, yo, Ferg need to get on this, Ferg need to get on that. Ferg don't need to get on nothing but what Ferg is about to get on. Like, you don't know, oh, that's not you. Like, oh, you doing this, that's not you. How you know it's me? I'm getting to a point in my artistry where I've always wanted to get to. And that's doing everything that I want to do. Like, don't try to box me in. I feel like artists get boxed in, and that's when they just make duplicates of every song, and it should start sounding the same. Like, for me, like, listening to Ye or listening to, like, Pharrell, like, he went and did, like, rock and all of this. When he had Mystical Records out and that was obviously working for him, he went and tested his boundaries. And the same thing with Ye, he went and dropped, like, 808s and Heartbreaks. That's what I aspire to do. Like, don't box me in and be like, oh, he's just this trap artist or whatever the case may be. Like, so whenever that happens, I just get like, I'm going to put out a R&B type joint. Me, Ty Dolla Signs, me, Brent Faiyaz. That's what I listen to. Like, I listen to, like, 112. I listen to, like, old hip hop and R&B. So it's natural for me to do it. And I also love, like, Timbaland and Pharrell and all of these great producers that basically change sonics for hip hop. So that's what I want to do with this project.
So I definitely hear some 90s vibes on this record.
Right.
What was it like putting this one together with Brent Faiyaz?
I wasn't intentionally doing 90s vibe. I think that's just, like, my vibe, period. I think I'm always, every project I kind of do, like, a nod to, like, just the 90s. My manager told me, like, I didn't even notice, but he said, like, every project, it has, like, one of those songs that reminds you of, the 90s or early 2000s or whatnot. Where My Dog's At, the Pups joint, I was just like, I just heard it, and it was an opportunity for me to rap. You know what I'm saying? Rap without like, you know, the 3-6 Mafia BPM or like the typical turn up party type joint. And I just wanted to do that for like the real Ferg fans, like the trap lords. Like, you know, I ain't forget my roots as far as rapping, like when I used to battle rap and all of that. With the Brent Fires joint, I've been did that 4 years ago with Salam Remy, and he just had the song, and I didn't even know he went and got Brent Fires to do the joint until like one day he surprised me, be like, y'all got Brent on the joint. And it's funny because I've been trying to reach out to Brent too, just to work with him and get in the studio, but he already jumped on the song, so I'm like, man, like God is working. It was divine. He killed it. He took the song to another level to the point where we redid the beat and made it better. And then that's what you got, Dreams, Fantasies.
It's a great song. I like the progression of the project, right? It starts a little bit more up-tempo, and as you get later in the project, we get this one, the joint with Ty Dolla $ign. I really like those. Yeah,
Rod is 4 years old too. My boy had a studio set up in his crib, overlooking like the whole like hills. You should see lights, the Hollywood vibe. Like we had girls dancing, we had Hennessy passed around, and like my boy Rick, he did the beat. He just threw that on. We had the mic and dead in the middle of the room, and I just started freestyling that, just started singing, and it felt so right. Ty Dolla $ign did his hook. Originally, Rick had did like a bridge or something like that, and then Ty Dolla $ign came back and did like another joint, and I gave him another verse. So that's how that happened. It was a crazy vibe. So like whenever you listen to that song, drive. Whenever you got a long drive, listen to that song. Nighttime.
All right, so the songs that you have banked already, do you feel like a lot of those will end up on the next project, or are you still recording and then you're going to see how the sound of that project is shaping up?
I already low-key got a whole nother project.
You must have it. Yeah. Look, by 2020, right?
Exactly. Like, I have it, but it's just like, the way I work, though, is just like my mind just makes the music. Like, I make a lot of music, and then I revisit songs. And I guess that's sometimes why I can have a song that's about 4 years old, because it's like, it may have not fit the project that I was putting out. Mm-hmm. So that's usually how it happens. Like I'll go and just re-record like some old songs, revisit ideas, and just create new ideas and stack them on top of the other old ideas.
So Ferg also has a tour coming up soon.
Yep.
The Yeti Tour. North American dates, Murder Beats is going to be with him, made in Tokyo. I wonder, watching what Rocky went through is a little bit scary for all of us, and I'm wondering if now you feel like you have to take extra precautions when you're on the road.
Well, definitely. That really hit home for me, and it's a real thing. Out of where we're from, like when you go overseas, they have different rules, a different set of rules, and we have to be respectful of that. Like it's very wrong to us, but like for them, it's like you're here. Mm-hmm. Like you have to follow our rules. It was like out of Rocky hands, I feel like. As far as my concern, like it was just, he was getting antagonized, and
we've had this conversation before. You said you never want to get so famous that you feel like you're out of touch with people and with your fans, you know? So I think some artists like you and Rocky still want to be able to move through the streets and be a normal person, but then you open yourself up to situations like that.